Let's break down the second episode of the Vince Staples Show, aka the Bank episode. Now, the Vince Staples Show deviates from the typical comedy in terms of tone, but it can still be broken down into the 3-act comedy structure. The teaser, the scene before the title card, establishes what this episode is about. We see Vince walk into a bank looking to get a small business loan, and he gets laughed at by the receptionist. That opening scene communicates very quickly the problem for the episode and the tone of the show, and also Vince's goal for the episode. So now let's jump into Act 1, where Vince does not get his loan approved by Mr. Hightower, who is the branch manager. So we're starting Act 1 with Vince trying to achieve his goal, and he's immediately met with that obstacle, right? The branch manager rejects him. And just like in other 3-act structures, the act outs are always super crazy. So the end of this Act 1, Vince is out of his meeting, and then there is a bank robbery, right? End of Act 1 in any structure is all about escalation. So as the audience, we're thinking, dun, dun, dun. But it turns out Vince is actually friends with the robbers. So that is once again the tone of the show. It's really funny. And he decides that he's just going to chill in the bank because now the police has showed up outside and he don't want no problems. Now on to the top of Act 2. Mr. Hightower asks Vince to get out of the bank alive because he's friends with the robbers. And Vince says, okay, if you approve my loan. So now they have a deal. But in order to get the manager out alive so he can get his loan, Vince knows he has to give his friends what they want. But it also seems like there's a piece of Vince that wants to see his friends win too. So after Vince asks his friends what they want, he tells the manager, you just need to open the vault for them. That's what they want. But obstacle, that's above this guy's pay grade. And he knows that he needs to go to the GM's office. So Vince goes, finds the code, and opens the vault. But at the end of Act 2, there is no money in the vault. So this whole robbery was for nothing. Now let's jump into Act 3. Well, actually, let me just say, as I said before, bottom of the acts is always really, really crazy, right? So the fact this robbery is for nothing is the perfect act out for Act 2. Okay. Now let's get into Act 3. So at the top of Act 3, we get this scene between Vince and his friend where Vince's friend admits that he's just trying to be like him. And Vince tells him, listen, money is not everything. Like, Vince couldn't even get a loan, right? So this is kind of the lesson of the episode, is that money isn't everything and you shouldn't try to be like anyone else because that person's probably struggling too. And so Vince tells his friend, if you let some hostages go, the sign of good faith, it's going to work out better for you, like a reduced sentence, something like that. And his friend says, you know what, you're right. And Vince picks the hostage and he chooses Mr. Hightower, obviously. So Vince is about to achieve his goal of getting Mr. Hightower out alive, but then they get outside and boom, Mr. Hightower gets shot for not keeping his hands up, which is also a commentary on race. And that's why I find this episode so interesting, because Vince's blackness actually worked against him at the beginning of the episode when he couldn't get the loan, but it got him out safely from this situation. So it kind of turned into a superpower, which is really interesting. So Vince ends the episode not achieving his goal. It's also this absurdist ending, which is in line with the tone. And yeah, that's it. I hope this was helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions.